Hello, my name is Stephen Dorr, School Improvement Data Consultant at the Jackson County ISD. Today we're working on Advanced Webinar number 1 for MiSchoolData.org. We're working on Dashboard, District School Information, and Student Count Reports. If you're watching this video today, first, you should understand basic navigation of the MiSchoolData website. Second, you should have participated in the introductory webinar. You should have at this point login access to the MiSchoolData website and understand the FERPA and HIPAA laws and the compliance issues associated with access to student-level data. Last but not least, we're assuming you have a high school level statistics background for this advanced webinar. We're going to take a deeper look at the dashboard and accountability scorecard. If we first look at the dashboard, you'll notice the report is set to statewide, and the Education My Dashboard has information on student outcomes, culture of learning, value for money, and salary data. If we take a look at these tabs along the top, we can get information on what's called district best practices. Now I need to actually edit the report and find information on my district, school, or ISD. I can click and select drop-down menus, or if I have a part of the name, I can go ahead and type that in to find my individual school, to view the results. You'll notice that if I go back to dashboard, I'm no longer on statewide like before, but now I'm looking at the dashboard of only the district that I've called up. If I want to change that back to statewide, I would simply edit the report, reset to statewide, and view results. Now I'm back to statewide. Now the information that I get can always be grabbed and downloaded into a report. And I have several options in doing so. I would go ahead and click download or print, and then I can save this as a PDF. This will generate a file in PDF format suitable for printing. But let's say I want to process this a little bit further, and I want to see this now as a CSV. That's a comma separated value. I can open this up then in Microsoft Excel. I've got the data in a format where I can do more data processing. In addition to the download and printing options, I can click a link to this report. So if I want to share this report with anyone in an email, in a document, I can go ahead and click copy the link that I can then copy and paste into a document as I wish. When someone then clicks upon this link, they're taken to that exact same report that I've generated within MiSchoolData. One important feature also of the dashboard is this about this report. When you're having some trouble navigating MiSchoolData, this is a good fallback. You have information on what it means, why it matters, and about the data itself. The accountability scorecard is largely a new feature of MiSchoolData because it's new to the state of Michigan, replacing the old AYP status. This information is readily available on the top, and you can see this by district or by individual school within the district. The top to bottom metrics are designed to identify priority schools and focus schools, as well as reward schools within our state. In order to understand the top to bottom ranking fully and to understand the statewide percentile rank, we need to have a basic understanding of z-scores and percentiles and how they fit together. When we call up an individual school, we get a report that looks something like this. You see there's an overall percentile, math, reading, science, social studies, and writing z-scores. Let's look a little deeper at what this means. A z-score is a statistical way to rank items around a center, much like percentile. Percentile runs from 0 all the way to 100 and shows you where you rank. But if the results are clustered around a center of a distribution, they tend to squish together on a percentile. A z-score is a consistent measurement all the way from -3 to +3. Let's go back and look at our writing score and our social studies score to fully understand these z-scores. My writing z-score is -1.1156. If you take a look closely on the z-score scale, I would place approximately here, which would line up with the 20th percentile. The social studies z-score is +5765, would place us somewhere around the 72nd percentile. This gives us a way to relate the z-score values with the commonly used percentile rank. One of the new features of MiSchoolData is the top 30, bottom 30 analysis tools. With the bottom 30, top 30 tools, I can get a disaggregation of who is scoring in my lowest 30% versus highest 30%, by ethnicity. I can do this by program, English language learners, students with disabilities, economically disadvantaged, or homeless. I can also get a disaggregation by gender and, very importantly, by grade level. One quick warning is some graphs will appear skewed if there are very few students in that category. Again, the top 30, bottom 30 analysis tools allow me to get a disaggregated report by ethnicity, by program, by gender, and by grade level. I can then download and print at the click of a mouse a full report of what's going on in my district or building level. Next, let's look at district and school information. The District and School Information tab in the summary portion allows me to see the number of intermediate school districts, local education agencies, public school academies, and state facilities in the state or in an individual area as I select. I can edit that report easily with the Edit Report button to see the same information captured within one ISD. Again, I can quickly download and print or create a web link to this exact report at any time. The District and School Information has one additional tab on statewide openings and closings. Here we can generate a spreadsheet or a PDF document report of how many buildings or districts have opened their doors or closed their doors over a 10-year period. Another very valuable tab along the side is one on student counts. Student counts gets us to a great deal of information. The summary page merely has information on how things are computed and put into MiSchoolData. Under Student Counts, the Student Counts tab, I have a wealth of demographic information. The default is for me to get a snapshot, but I can click Trend very easily to see a trend view. In addition, if I hit the Edit Report button, I can easily select this down to an individual school district. Here you see I've generated a report of student count data for Traverse City Area Public Schools. Don't forget, I can always download and print or create a web link to this exact information. The retained and grade setting allows me to get a similar report with a graph, but now I can select very specific things within the school year. Here you see a retained and grade report for statewide, with green being male and blue being female. The next tab is on attendance. I can capture how many students have had 10 or more absences within the last school year. The final tab on student counts gives me information on student mobility. For example, with a report on student mobility, I can see how many students transfer from one district to the next by program. Again, I can always download or print or create a web link to that report and capture all this information as a PDF or as a Microsoft Excel document. All that information and all that reporting capability is within the Student Counts tab. Graduation and dropout rate, the third along the top tab, allows me to capture information on a 4, 5, or 6-year cohort. I can disaggregate by gender, ethnicity, or program participation. Once the report is generated, I can download and print or create a web link. The last Student Counts tab across the top is non-resident status. A good example of this is I could find out how many students enrolled at my school district came from a totally different ISD. The report I've generated shows me for Detroit City School District how many students were enrolled elsewhere outside of my ISD, highlighted in green here. How many students were a non-resident of my ISD that are enrolled in Detroit City Schools. This is a useful tool to see how many you're gaining or losing across boundaries. Again, any report that you generate can be made into a PDF or an Excel document, or a web link can be created directly to this report. Thank you for your time. You're not complete yet. Please click on the link below this video to complete a short survey at bit.ly/MiSchoolData. The session name is Advanced Webinar Number 1. If you have questions, feel free to contact us at JCISD Learning Services. Thank you so much.